はい、どうも、チョコニキチャンネルのニキです。Hi everyone, I'm Nikki, and today I'd like to talk to you guys a little bit about why and how I'm teaching my daughter Japanese. Do 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 do. Welcome to Kiki's channel. Do do. Ding ding. To be specific, we're actually teaching our daughter or trying to introduce her to as many different languages as possible. So let's rewind that a little bit. My husband and I, our native language is English, so that's what we speak to each other in. But he also speaks Mandarin fluently. So while he's with her, he predominantly or only tries to speak to her in Mandarin as best as he can. Obviously, there are some slip-ups. We live in Canada. We say some things in English, which is totally fine. We're trying to do this as like a kind of no stress, no pressure, but just do as much as you can when you can kind of thing. In my case, I speak obviously English as my first language, as well as some Japanese, Korean, Cantonese, and Mandarin, though very poorly for the other 4 languages, I have to say. And the funny thing is, before I was pregnant with her, I had not spoken in or used Japanese for many, many years, probably at least 5 or 6. It didn't come up in my day-to-day life, not for work, and so I hadn't used it. It was very, very much rusty and not fluent at all. I could understand still a little bit, but my spoken language was definitely very, very stale, like just no good. So when I was pregnant with her and we decided to go down this path of which language should we introduce to her depending on our fluency, we determined that his was obviously Mandarin. He also speaks some French, but mine would be Japanese just because it's my second strongest language. However, having said that, it wasn't that strong at that time. Not saying it's really strong now. So I had to practice again, get into the habit of using Japanese, and I did that while I was pregnant and working 7 days a week from home because, you know, COVID. Moonpuff, come here, Moonpuff, come. Okay, he's not coming. By using apps as well as watching a lot of YouTube videos and content in Japanese, as well as kanji apps, Wanikani in particular. I got a lifetime account, and especially while I was pregnant with her up to after she was born, because once they're born, it's a totally different game. You just have no time to sleep or think. I used it every day religiously, and that I think really helped bring my level back to kind of where it used to be. Not that that was very high, but at least to an amount that I was comfortable speaking to a infant or a baby in. I also used italki for a little bit. I did a few lessons just to warm up and feel comfortable, because sometimes I think with us language learners, especially me, I get really embarrassed, or like I'm just afraid of making mistakes, or, you know, embarrassing myself and sounding not native, which I think no one should feel, because obviously like I'm gaijin, so I should speak, or not that I should, but it's not shameful to make mistakes. And I should know that because I'm a teacher. But anyway, I think I get really hard on myself for any language if I make a mistake. I just don't like that. So I used italki just to get out of my comfort zone, make mistakes, and just kind of speak at a natural pace without thinking about it too much. And that really helped me. And we also made the decision to hire a Japanese native as a nanny for our daughter, so that she could be exposed to a native accent, to also help me while I'm working from home. And yeah, we really felt that we are very lucky and privileged that we were able to do so. And so we hired a nanny, and she stayed with us for the first 3 months, but sadly she had to move along. She got re-diagnosed with a recurring illness that she had. And so she had to work from home. And so we were very lucky enough to very quickly be able to find another nanny who was wonderful and stayed with us for over a year. And then she unfortunately had some family circumstances and had to go back to Japan for a little bit. But she is coming back for a couple months and then going back to Japan and then hopefully coming back again permanently to help. But we'll see. So we're on to our third nanny, who's also Japanese, but is actually also a native French speaker, which is why our daughter is now learning French as well. With our third nanny, she is Japanese, but was raised in Paris until she was a teenager. And so she speaks to our daughter in, I would say, 80% French with 20% Japanese, and speaks to me in Japanese. All my nannies spoke to me in Japanese because I thought that would be wonderful practice, and just I wanted that continuity. And I understand that there are different language theorists, different beliefs. There's like the one parent, one language, as well as, I forget the term for it, but essentially it's like you try to block off certain weeks as X language and then certain weeks as another language. In our case, we're just trying more on the one language, one parent kind of method, where my husband does Mandarin, I do Japanese, my nanny does French as well as Japanese, and just to keep it separated so it doesn't confuse my daughter too much. I'm sure she's already like super confused, but that's kind of the logic or the thinking behind what we're doing right now. Yeah, so we wanted her to learn many languages, not just so she could be able to say, yeah, I speak 5 languages, or I know that, but also so she could be exposed to different cultures. And I've read so many books and articles, mostly articles, let's be real, about how learning languages opens up different neural pathways, and I thought how fun. It's also, as you guys know, a passion of mine and also my husband, so we wanted to share that with her because I feel like that could be something so useful, whether she continues to pursue those languages or not, to be interested in those cultures or not. That would just be wonderful and kind of open her mind as a person, as a global citizen, that kind of thing. And how fun is it to have all these things and to have that opportunity? She's very, very lucky, I think. So if you have any questions about why and how we're doing and teaching all these languages, that is English, Japanese, French, Mandarin, to our daughter, please leave me a question down below, a comment or suggestions for any new videos, things that you're curious about. I'd love to hear about it, and I'll see you guys next time. じゃあね、バイバイ。Thanks for watching. Come again. Bye bye. Ding ding.